Okay, let's investigate our first program with a for loop. Let's look at our for loop first of all. So a for loop starts off with the word for, then a space, and then a variable that is used as a counter. So I've called this person counter. Then the word in, with a space either side, and then this thing called range. A range gives us a list of different values. So range 10 will give us values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It doesn't include the 10, it includes the number before 10, but it goes from 0. So we're getting 0 up to 9, and that gives us our 10 different values. So this is going to go round and round and round this loop 10 times, and each time it goes through, this variable called person counter will change from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3, etc. So it will constantly change. So therefore, if I run this program, it's going to ask us each time the same thing. It's going to say, person 1, input your age. So I might put 23, person 1, input your age. Person 1, input your age. It's going to do this 10 times. So if I do this 10 times, here we go. Just check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. There we go. But we don't want it to say person 1 input your age. We want it to say person 1 input your age, person 2 input your age, person 3 input your age, etc. So how could we change that? Well, we could, for each time the loop goes around, create a new string variable perhaps called prompt equals, and we're going to say person 1 and then we're going to add to it a new string, not person 1, sorry, person, and then we're going to add to the person counter. But the person counter needs to be is an integer. And we can't add an integer to a string. We need to add a string to a string. So we use this function called str that converts whatever's inside the brackets that I'm just about to type into an integer. So we're going to say person, and then the string value of person counter, and we're going to leave a space, your age. That's going to be our prompt each time. So instead of having this as our prompt for our raw input, we're going to use our prompt that we've created here. So let's just run that, see what happens. Okay, it says person 0, input your age. So we might put that down, then person 1, because that's what person counter is doing. It's counting from 0, 1, 2, 3. We probably don't want this to say person 0, 1, 2, 3, but rather 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So let's change that. So instead of our person counter here, we want to increase that by 1. So person counter plus 1. So we run again. Person 1, input your age. Here we go. Person 2, input your age. Person 3, input your age, etc. up to person 10, 6, 7, 8, 9, and finally 10. There we go. Okay, so that's great. So remember, this variable, each time one of these lines is executed inside the for loop, these indented lines of this colon here, then this person counter variable will increase. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at demonstrating the debugger. So I've put a breakpoint here in this position with this red blob, and instead of running, I'm going to debug this program. So I'm going to say debug, and when the program hits this red blob, this breakpoint, it stops and enables me to look at these different variables. And there's some buttons here that enable me to step over and step into code. So I'm going to just say step over, and it goes to the next line. And you'll see here that person counter has now set itself to its first value of 0. And if I step over again, we could, oops, yes, we get prompt, and it says person 1, input your age here. So I can use this debugger to investigate what's going on with the program. And you'll see here, when I step over again, that it will ask us for our age. Once we've put our age in, the program will go back up to this line and go round again. So it basically is looping round and round and round this bit of code as many times as I requested in this range here. And that's why they're called loops, because it loops around and round and around.